Just going to let everybody know that this will be recorded. You're free to have your cameras on or off, but do please mute your microphones just to limit background noise. Right, I'm just going to share my screen. Oh, it's got one more person that's just popped up. So thank you for joining us this afternoon. This is our welcome to the family meeting for parents who are joining us for FS2 for the next academic year. You will know my face. Hi, I am Rebecca Howells. I'm one of the assistant principals and I mainly look after the foundation stage. And I've got Lorraine Wade with me today, who is our head of FS2 and will be a face that lots of you have seen as you walk past her classroom in the corridor, and a face that you will see much more of next year. So the main point of today's meeting is just to give a little bit of useful information to you all to make sure that you feel fully prepared for your child starting in FS2. We're going to keep our side of things quite brief to allow time for you to ask any questions. If while Miss Wade or I are talking, anything pops into mind, please just pop your question on the chat and we'll go through all questions at the end. So I'm going to hand over to Miss Wade, who's going to talk a little bit about school timings.
Good afternoon, everyone. So firstly, let me just run through the main school timings of the week for Foundation Stage 2. We have a long drop-off time in the morning, which starts at 7:15 when the doors will open. And the doors will remain open until 7:50. If on the off chance that we know things do happen, maybe there's been traffic or something's happened in the morning and you are late and you arrive after 7:50, the FS door will be closed, so you will have to go to main reception where your child will be signed in as late and they will then be brought round to their classroom by a member of staff. And we have our pickup time. Normally our children are collected from 1:30 and we have sort of a 10-minute gap where you can collect them up until 1:40. Of course, on a Friday that is different. Our pickup time is earlier and the school finishes at 12 p.m. Now we do have some options for wraparound care. So following our first 2 weeks transition period, we will have a sibling club for those children who do have siblings up a school. That will run Monday to Thursday, and you can pick up your sibling club children from 2:30. So that will tie in with children that you have in the upper school. Now, as I briefly mentioned there, we will be having a 2-week settling in period for the children. So the first 2 weeks of FS2, it's really important we make that a special, happy time. The children are really settled in, and we find by making the day shorter for them in those initial 2 weeks and settling them in, that really works. And we have a pickup time of 12:30 to ensure that it's just a really successful settling in period as they move from FS1 to FS2 and make that jump. So the first 2 weeks of school in FS2 will be pick up at 12:30. There will be no sibling club for those first 2 weeks, and they just need to be collected at 12:30. We will begin our extracurricular program as well. So our fantastic teachers will be running some extra classes, and that will run 3:10 till 4:10 on Tuesdays to Thursdays, and you'll get more information about that when they're about to start.
Thank you, Ms. Wade. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about school uniform. So we pride ourselves here at Wellington Academy on having really high standards of uniform. So for foundation stage, boys and girls, we ask that they wear the blue Wellington polo tops, and then girls can wear the pinstripe skirts, and for boys it is the navy pinstripe shorts. The girls also have the option of wearing the summer dress. We do ask that it is navy, black or white socks, and it is black shoes on school days, please, with a Velcro or slip-on fastening. We do ask that FS children do not have laces unless the children can tie them independently. And this is just so that nobody's walking around with laces undone and risking tripping over. On days when your child has PE, and timetables will be sent to you in that first week, they can come to school dressed in their PE kit. It's the same house colours as the children have had in FS1. And on PE days, it is white, black or navy socks, and then it is white sports shoes. And again, we ask that they are slip-on or Velcro fastening unless children can tie the laces. I know it can sometimes be difficult to get the sports shoes without laces, but we just ask that you replace the laces with elastic, and then the children can just slip their shoes on. All of our uniform can be ordered from Threads. We also ask that the children bring a sun hat to school every day for their outdoor break, and we would like that to be the Wellington sun hat as well, please. And also hair accessories for girls. It's black or navy headbands or scrunchies. We ask that the uniform headbands are left at home. For FS2, the children will have swimming each week, and it is the Wellington swimwear, please. So girls, Wellington swimming costumes, and then the boys, the Wellington swim trunks and the Wellington swim hat. And then school bags. Some of the older children are also going to be bringing book bags to school. For FS, we feel that might be a little bit too much to carry. So we're just asking that the children have the Wellington school bag. And we recommend the 16 inches size. So it's not the smallest one, but it's not the biggest one. And that should allow anything that the children need to bring to school to fit inside.
Okay, healthy eating. This is a huge part of our FS curriculum. So part of the early learning goal is that children do need to understand what a healthy lifestyle is. And we really do promote that right from FS1 through the school. So the children are expected to bring in 2 sets of food. We have a snack time and we have a lunch time. The snack time again should be something really healthy, and the children should be part of the process of packing their snack and lunch so they know what their snack is. We have children who do come, they don't understand which their snack and lunch, and they'll eat the whole thing in their first break. So do make them part of that process. You know, I have a banana for snack and this is what I have for my lunch. You can also label their snack and their lunchbox so that they understand what is to be eaten at what times. Please label them with their names as well. We do have children who bring in the same style lunch boxes to make sure they're labeled with their name. And also a pot that they can open independently. We try to encourage them to be as independent during these meal times as possible. If they're bringing in something that they need to use cutlery with, please do provide that as well. And really important, we are a no-nut school and there should be no pork in their lunchbox as well. That does include Nutella spreads and any nut spreads that they may have on sandwiches that they'll try and get you to sneak in their lunchboxes for them. So yeah, please keep those at home. What we do want to encourage though is that as adults, we do have treats ourselves, so we encourage that with the children. It's all about balance. And we have something called Treat Tuesday, and the children really love Treat Tuesday. On Treat Tuesday, they bring in one treat. That could be a muffin, a chocolate snack, and we just limit it to one day a week. So throughout the week, and they know that they have that special treat, and other than that, they're eating really healthy foods. I know that children will sit and tell you at home, I don't like strawberries, I don't like grapes, I don't like apples. We're here to work with you, and we're here to encourage children to eat a balanced food. So speak with us. We can also work with your children as well, find out what healthy foods they like. We run lots of initiatives to encourage the children. We've done colour initiatives. This week we're eating healthy orange foods. This week we're eating healthy green foods. So yeah, we do support you guys at home, because I know at home they'll often refuse to eat as well. So we're here to work with you. And the next thing is just water bottles. They must bring a refillable water bottle each day to school. Please ensure this isn't glass. We know accidents happen. As careful as your child may be, it could just slip off the table or slip out their hand. So please make sure there's no glass. Also with the big screw tops, once that top is off, if they do drop it, that water creates a big slip hazard when it's all over the floor. So the straw top caps and like the flip top caps are the best ones to have each day for the children.
Thanks, Miss Wade. So we do offer the service for our FS2 children. Just to recap the times for this. So buses get the children to school by 7:40 in the morning, and for FS2 it is still adult to adult handover. So the children will be walked off the bus by the bus guardian and then delivered to each classroom. And then once our transition period has finished, the bus will leave Monday to Thursday at 1:30. So in FS2 about 1:15, the children are taken by their teacher or the teaching assistants to board the bus. If your child is staying for sibling club, then at 3 o'clock they are taken to board the bus, and the bus leaves around 3:20. On a Friday, when we finished a bit earlier, everybody leaves school at the same time, so that bus leaves at 12:15. If your child needs to use the bus during the transition period, then the bus will leave at 12:30, and we'll be able to have a pick up and drop off. It will just be a slightly earlier service at 12:30. And you can just see on the screen there the email address for the person who leads the STS bus service within school. So he has got an office in school. So that's a useful email address if you've got queries or questions about the bus. So I'm just going to go through a few sort of headlines that when I asked the staff, what do we want our new FS2 parents to know? These are the things that they said were really important that I told you. So full uniform is worn with pride, and we must follow the uniform policy. If we find that children are wearing something that isn't within our uniform guide, we're really careful with how this information is given to the children. You know, we don't shame anybody within school, but we will ask for anything that doesn't fit with the uniform guide to be changed. And a reminder that children need to come to school in their PE kits on PE day. In terms of bags, we have had some feedback that the quality of the Wellington school bag isn't great. Threads have promised us that they are looking to improve this. That sort of as a compromise, if you're really, really anti the Wellington school bag, then you can have a plain black or navy backpack, but we are absolutely not allowing any colourful, superhero, rainbow bags within school, and certainly no wheelie suitcases, and it needs to be a backpack that the children can wear on their back. Children will bring their swimming kit into school to change into, and on swim day, children can come in their PE kit. But for FS2, swimming is usually the first period of the day, so the children can wear their swimming kit underneath their PE kit, and then that just makes changing first thing really easy. And swimming in FS2 is mixed gender, but the children do have separate changing rooms. Boys and girls do change separately. As Miss Wade said, please label everything, including lunch and snack boxes and shoes. Teachers do their absolute best to make sure the right thing goes home with the right person. But in those first few days when you're not quite sure what everybody's water bottle looks like, that just really helps us out. And bringing your labelled Wellington sun hat for outdoor playtimes. And in FS2, the children will access the outdoor classroom, so they can be outside when the weather allows for more extended periods of time. So that sun hat's really important. We really want the children to come to school every day. We want our children to succeed, and we need them to be in school so that we can teach them. So we're aiming for 100% attendance. But if your child is off because they are unwell, please report their absence by 7:30, and I'll give you the email address to do that on the next slide. Pick up and drop off. I really want to push children being on time for school. That initial 10 minutes where we settle the children, we welcome the children, and then we do our first direct input is really important. And in FS2, that first session is quite often phonics. So if the children are missing that, they're missing some really important teaching. So do try and have your child in school by 7:50, and after 3 p.m, if you are collecting from our sibling club, you'll need to come to main reception. Any medical issues, we do ask that you report them to the school doctor, because she's the expert and she'll be able to tell you whether we need you to follow something up at home with your doctor, or then she'll know if we need to send guidance out to other parents. So again, I'll give you the email address on the next page for that. And if there are any changes to pick up information, so if you're going to collect your child from school, they're not going to take the bus, please, please, please email reception and your child's class teacher before 11 o'clock. And the reason that we ask you to email both is in the hope that somebody sees that message before we put your child on the bus. Sometimes reception are super busy and they don't manage to keep up with emails. Sometimes the class teacher is busy in the classroom, so she's not always seeing that email. So we ask if you CC them both in, then somebody will know the change to the schedule. Now, you will get a copy of this, so don't worry, you don't have to frantically scribble it down now, but on the screen should be all email addresses that you might need. So you've got reception there for changes to pick up, or a message that you might need to pass on. The academy attendant, so if your child isn't in school because they're unwell, then you email absence, but CC in the class teacher so that they know as well. The medical clinic is where you can inform the doctor about any illnesses that your child might have. Registrar is sort of information about admissions or fees. School transport services, so that's the bus service. Finance, so anything to do with accounts, you can use that email address. And then our two relations executives, so Jacqueline Varga is our parent relation executive, so she's useful in terms of events that are happening in school. And then our government relations executive is to help with anything sort of to do with the KHDA. So very useful email addresses there. So I'm just going to hand over to Miss Wade now. She's going to give you a little bit of information about sort of what FS2 is going to look like.
Okay. FS2 is a really exciting and important time for the children. So FS2, our curriculum is still play-based. So the class teachers are specialists in setting up a wonderful environment for your children to feel like they are spending the day playing and enjoying themselves. And we, as early years specialists, go into their play and we drag all of that learning out of them and really push them on for their next steps. So it is still a play-based curriculum. There's still a lot of play for the children. However, we do know that in FS2, your child will start to read, they will start writing, which is a really exciting thing for you to be part of. So we will run phonics sessions, and as Mrs. Howell says, they're normally the first lesson of the day. So really important that you're getting them in on time, and we can settle them in and they can start to learn to read. We do have our wonderful outdoor classroom that the children can have access to as well. We run lots of topics throughout the year, and normally how we do that is we'll set up a hook. So we'll have something that will hook the children in, get them really excited and engaged in a topic. And then the class teachers will follow their own class's interests. So we might have a class who When we're doing under the sea, they're really interested in sharks. So we'll go along that route of following their interest, and we might read some more non-fiction books on sharks and find out more information. But then we might have a class who is really interested in seahorses, so they'll be able to move that learning down that route as well. We are very, very excited that we can now start to run our trips again. So as part of our topics, we will extend the learning through taking the children on trips, which really contextualizes things for them. And it's very, very exciting. We get to go on the school bus a lot of the time, which is really fun. And as I mentioned earlier, we do have a wonderful ECA program as well, which really enriches the children's learning experience, which runs after school as well. So very, very exciting time, and we can't wait to have your children join us.
So that was sort of just a whistle-stop tour of some information that you might need. If you do have any questions, please do put them on the chat now, and me and Miss Wade will do our best to answer them. And like Miss Wade said, it's a really exciting year group. I love the start of the year anyway, because our children are so ready for that next year, but we are absolutely here to help. So if you do have any questions or anything pops up, you'll see our faces locked in the corridor. Please don't feel like you can't come and talk to us. We are never too busy to chat or answer questions. So even if you can't think of them now and something pops up between now and the end of term, then you can catch us in the corridor, or you can send an email, and I'll still be on my emails over the summer break. So please do use us to answer any questions that you might have. So I'm just going to turn off the screen and have a look at the chat to make sure that we've answered everything. So I know that one question we had on the chat was to do with the bags. So I said, you know, if you don't think the quality of the threads bags is good enough, then you can have a plain navy or black rucksack. But please, please, please don't send coloured backpacks into school. And yes, threads, I think we've had they've been inundated with uniform orders over the last couple of weeks as people have newly enrolled, and they're usually really good at getting things back in stock before the start of term. But I can also get in touch with them to see if there's any key dates in terms of deliveries, and then we'll update. If you're really struggling for any uniform and you're trying to get it from Threads and it is out of stock, just send me an email to say, look, I've been trying to get this, I'm really struggling, and I can always get in touch with them to see if we can get any more information on that. So don't let that worry you, and they're usually pretty good at picking things back up before the start of term. We've got one question here that says, is the outside play area undercover? Miss Wade, do you want to talk a little bit more about our outdoor learning programme?
Yes, so we do have the shaded area outside. But as you know, the sun does travel around throughout the day, so there is parts of the playground that is uncovered, which is why we recommend the children bring in their sun hats every day. When we are outside, they have access to their water, and the outdoor area has lots of different experiences for the children. They have a sand area, a water area, obviously, there'll be opportunities to explore nature there. We have our hydroponics set up for growing and exploring plants. Lots of opportunities for climbing and building. And we put resources out there for children to play music outside. They can read outside, opportunities for writing. So we do bring the curriculum outside as well. So yes, there is cover. We will be spending more time out there, so please make sure you have a sun hat, and please make sure they bring a nice refillable water bottle, because there is areas of that outdoor classroom that the sun will be there because of obviously the nature of the sun moving throughout the day.
Thank you. And we are also kept informed by our school doctor, who will let us know if the temperature reaches a certain point where it wouldn't be safe to be outside. So the last couple of weeks, outdoor learning hasn't happened because it's been so hot. So we are very carefully monitored in terms of the heat. You can use sunblock. You could send your child in wearing the 8-hour sun cream if you feel that you want to add that extra bit of protection. But we are really aware of where the sun is, and we make sure the children are really, really sun safe. We've had one question on the chat that asked about what are the break timings. The children will usually have their first snack within sort of the first hour and a half, 2 hours of the school day. And then their lunch is sort of an hour-ish before they go home. But break timings are slightly different in each class, and also dependent on specialist teachers and specialist sessions. But we will send timetables in that first week, and then you'll be able to see when your child has their break times.
In terms of length of time for breaks, in case that's what you meant, the length of time, so snack time, we don't want the children to have too much to eat. It's 20 minutes. It needs to be something that's just going to keep them full until lunch. So some fruit, a yogurt, that would be plenty, some cereal. And then lunchtime, again, we try to have 20 to 30 minutes of eating, and then afterwards they'll get to relax with a book and stuff while their food settles before we start another activity. We understand when they move from FS1 to FS2, it takes them a long time to eat. So we would just assess where if they need a little bit more time, we can give them a little bit more time. We'll go by the children and their needs, but 20 minutes, lunch 20 to 30 minutes is how long we give them to eat their food.
And then sort of eating times are really social experience as well, and you know, we're really keen that the children are sitting at a table, and we say to them, you know, Tommy's looking at the table, a sort of appropriate volume when they're talking. I always say to them, if this was a restaurant, you wouldn't shout across the restaurant or you'd be asked to leave. And so we're really teaching that social etiquette in times of it's a lovely social time. We will sit with the children and we'll eat and we'll have conversations with them. But also we don't want it to take up the whole of our day. So as Miss Wade said, we try and keep it to an appropriate amount of time. And we've had a question on the chat that says, will social events be organised for the children? Hopefully we can get back to a full social timetable, which we've not had for the last 3 years. So yes, I think we will be looking to get some of those events back up and running. Teachers will be reminding themselves of what school discos used to be like, but we will be really excited to get that sort of social feeling back into the curriculum. As Miss Wade said, we're thrilled that we can start going on trips again and getting those real enrichment activities back in. So hopefully we'll have some exciting things planned. So hopefully we've answered the questions that you have. If anything else does crop up, I'm just going to pop both mine and Miss Wade's email back up on the screen for you. Feel free to fill up our inboxes with any other questions that you have. Oh, I think one more question might have just popped up. Yes, while children are in sibling club, we would suggest you send a third snack. Now, it's not quite as long as sibling club is in FS1. So the children will have had their lunch around 12:30-ish. So probably, as Miss Wade said, just another sort of fruit and yogurt, just a small snack to keep it going until you eat a little bit later on. So as I said, if you have any other questions, feel free to send them on to us. For attending today, and we are just so excited about the new academic year. We really can't wait to welcome your children into FS2. Really looking forward to it. So thank you for attending today, and we'll see you very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, Arav.